So because Sons of the Forest finally released on Thursday, my old video I made nearly 10 months ago on if the game will come out on PS4 has been doing really well. And you guys keep asking me to cover the console port on the PS5, which I gotta say is basically the same outcome as last gen. I went over a few things on Sons of the Forest coming to PS5 mostly in that video too, and saying that it just has a higher chance compared to PS4, because the game's new system requirements and how the PS4's hardware just can't handle that amount of juice. There's just no way the game will come out on PS4, and if it does, it'll be downgraded way too much. But PS5, man, it's definitely coming out on there. The only reason I titled it PS4 was because I thought that would be more important, but that just caused more people to ask me about the PS5, but it's basically the same thing. Just at the time, nobody could really get their hands on a PS5, but now since the shortage has completely halted and everyone owns the God of War bundle, or the Horizon bundle like me, I thought I'd make an update video on if Sons of the Forest would be coming out on the PS5 rather than the PS4. And Xbox users, don't worry, I have a video coming out on that, so stay tuned. But you're not gonna like the news. Now let me just start off and say that Sons of the Forest has become the biggest game on Steam by far. Yes, the release was an absolute mess. Everyone knew the game was coming out at 12 PM EST and waited for it to drop only to make Steam crash. Not even Hogwarts or any big game did that. But that's how you know the hype surrounding Sons of the Forest was massive. And just after 24 hours, the game sold more than 2 million copies, which is insane, especially for a small indie game like this. And it was in early access, made by a small little team of 30 people. Very big accomplishment for them. I'm glad the game has become a massive success. They definitely deserve all the love for the amount of work they put into their games. The Last Forest was one of my all-time favorite games on the platform ever, next to other Steam exclusive games like Phasmophobia, CSGO, and more. Actually, anytime someone asks me what games they should get after moving to PC from console, the first game I recommend is The Forest, because it didn't get that much love when it first came out, but when the full game came out and it got ported to PS4, it blew up like crazy. So I'm glad the game's sequel is getting the same amount of love, and it's only been just a few days, and this is the start of the game's build. It's gonna get much more content and updates as the year goes by, but when it gets out of early access in 6 to 8 months like developers said, the game will be complete with far more content and features than what the game has now, like new structures, because if you played the first game, a lot of things are missing. Better optimization, that's been a big problem right now judging by reviews. The only reason the game isn't overwhelmingly positive like the last one. Keyboard shortcuts, I don't know why we don't even have them, it's been driving me crazy to switch weapons. As well as of course patching up glitches and bugs that's obviously gonna come out with the early access of the game. The point is, right now the game isn't finished. We just got our hands on it early. It's like we're just playing the beta, and they estimated the full release is gonna come out within 6 to 8 months. But when the game fully comes out in August, September, or October, that's 6 months by the way, this game will be coming out on PS5. Because the game also has controller support. I played with it for a few hours and it runs super well, a little bit smoother than keyboard and mouse. And as I keep saying, the first game came out on the PS4. Obviously the second game will come out on the new PlayStation. There's no way they wouldn't want to port the game over to PlayStation after they're done with it on PC. I keep seeing everyone saying that they have no plans to bring it on PlayStation and it's not going to come out, but obviously they're not going to tell us now. I mean, they're still working on the game, and Night Games is a small team made up of only 30 people, and it's not enough. The expectations from the community are so damn big. Look how people reacted when they kept announcing delays. Imagine how much people would be bothering them if they say the game is going to come out on console. They'll just be rushing them, it's going to come out really bad. So of course they're not going to say anything about that right now. They're going to finish the game first. That's going to take the rest of the year or longer. Only then, when the game comes out of early access and Sons of the Forest becomes a full game on Steam. By the way, the price isn't going to drop or increase like the last game. So when it comes out on the PS5, it'll be $30 as well. The game will feature ray tracing with DLSS support too, thanks to the game's new graphics. 8-player multiplayer like PC, maybe even PSVR 2 support, because let's be honest, VR support is going to come out on PC soon, just like the first game. But that's not going to be anytime soon, considering we have a larger map and much more stuff they have to work on. But they'll start to work on Sons of the Forest for the PS5 when the PC version of the game is no longer in early access. And if you want to estimate, that's not going to start until the end of 2023, around September. Plus, they may want more time to put the finishing touches on their game, even after all the content and features have come out. Like they said, they want the game to be the best version of the Forest it can possibly be, which means some work will have to be done even after the 6 to 8 months of development is over. And if we've learned anything from their last delays, something always comes up. But in a nutshell, the game comes out of early access, we have all the new updates and features, then it'll come to PS5. Don't worry, it won't take that long as the first game. This time around they're working with a larger team, and instead of a few years, the game is going to get out of early access in just a few months. They're going to get things done quicker, and I say by the end of 2024, the game may just be on PS5. Because I would say the summer, but like I said, something bad always comes up. They're probably going to run into some issue trying to port the game, and that's going to take even longer. Also, it's estimated that ports take up to 6 months, like what happened with Fall Guys and other games. It takes half a year to work on getting a game on another platform. So if you want to estimate, just follow up on when the game gets out of early access, then 6 months later, it will be on PlayStation. And it looks like they have a lot of confidence that it's going to get out of early access pretty fast. I mean, if that wasn't the case, why else would they price the game at $30 flat and not start it off like The Forest with it being $15 and then raising it up when it gets out of early access? this. And that's because they believe they're practically done with Sons of the Forest. Just need a little bit more time to patch up the bugs, get everybody's feedback on certain mechanics so they can improve it, then push out the last build of the game, make it a full release, and then onto other platforms. So if you think it's going to take that long, don't worry. This time around, it's going to be quicker. And going into the new year, they may just announce Sons of the Forest is coming to PS5. If everything goes smoothly, that is. And who knows, it may just be featured on PlayStation Plus, because obviously they have some sort of background deal going on with Sony, since the original Forest never released on Xbox, and that game was a massive success just being on PlayStation alone. So no way they wouldn't want to port it to the PS5 to get even more sales and grow their audience, because let's be honest, the game blew up far more when it came out on console. Not everyone can afford a PC, so when news came out that it was on PlayStation, an actual console, the only console, it took off completely. And actually, now that I think about it, Night already has a pre-established community because of the first game they released on PlayStation. And knowing how the devs work recently, they love their players, and there's no way they would just leave everyone hanging by not releasing the sequel to the first game for people to enjoy. Everyone just give them time to finish the game on PC. Then they'll get to the side stuff like a PS5 port, VR support, and maybe a PS4 port, but I doubt it, man. It would just hold back the game's capabilities. I don't think it's a good idea for them to downgrade it too. Almost always it causes problems. After beating the game too, it's obvious it needs more work. The story isn't even finished, and there's a lot of stuff missing. So just be patient, and around October they'll come out with some sort of news. But I just know this game belongs on PlayStation and is coming to the PS5. And plus the console's hardware is far greater compared to before. It's gonna handle this game with ease, maybe even better than PC. Still standing by my theory though that they want this game to come out on the PSVR 2, because it just came out and there's hardly any other titles available right now. And Games definitely has some sort of background business going on with Sony. They're probably gonna release some bundles with Sons of the Forest and PSVR. Just a prediction, let's see. Pretty much it, just wanted to talk on this and wanted to update you guys on this newer version of the video I just made. The devs have a pretty set out plan for the future of Sons of the Forest, and I can say with confidence that in their plan is a PS5 port. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, stay blue.